Today I've had ABL. Today is 10/14/2023 and it is shock season. Today's open day, so you can pretty much use any team that you want. I find Luna Snow to score pretty much the most. I have tried with a lot of different teams, and we will talk about alternate team ups and why I'm building the team I am after the video, but let's talk about a rotation, show it in action, and go from there. So today you're basically going to be using a 5-4-3. Wait till she points at the sky, and then cancel her 3. Everything else is instantly cancelable. You want to spam your 2, 1, and 6 as soon as they're ready. Keep your 5-4-3 together if you can. I do squeeze a 6 inside of the 5-4-3 on occasion, which is not really going to hurt the rotation at all. And she doesn't cancel today, so you actually need to use your striker to cancel, but Thor is the best ABL striker. So he both cancels and he's the best striker for the day, which is awesome. So when you're picking up your orbs, make sure if you have a single orb, you only use Thor once. You will not have enough time to charge him again for the second one, which will then be the cancel time. Let me go ahead and show you that in action, and we will go from there. All right, so I like to open with Luna after pick up the orb. I do a 1, 2, 5, 4, 3, and then pretty much spam everything. Your 2 is actually going to carry you in the direction you move your analog stick, so be very careful when you're using your 2 to see that you don't run really far away from Searcher, and it keeps you from canceling your skills. You noticed I used Thor already, so now when Thor is ready in a few moments here, don't use him. You need him for the center. So let me pick that up. As soon as he is targetable, go ahead and use Thor. He will cancel as soon as he is targetable. He has a long shock value when it comes to using Thor. Now you can pretty much use 7 as soon as it's available until you are down to 1 orb again. Obviously, we're going to pick up orb 3 and 4. We're going to get the Odin Force. I'm going to use 2 to run to pick this up. And then I'm going to come right back, using 7 right away to get that charged as quickly as possible, and just kind of rinse and repeat. There are people that will score close to what Luna does, but Luna seems to take the cake for today. At least with all the experimentation I've done. There we go. That's that last Odin Force. Remember, right after this, we're going to get a single orb, and we're only going to be able to use the 7 once, and then we'll need to save it for the cancel. I probably could have slipped 6 before my 3 there, but it's okay. We'll work with it. There is a bit of randomness with spam characters. Luna's not a pure spam. She has like a rotation with spam versus other characters like Jean Grey or Scarlet Witch that are pure spam. Alright, so here's the one time I'm using 7 right here. Now I want to charge it back up and save it for the actual cancel. See right here, I could use it, but then it's not going to be charged quickly enough. See, and he's already jumping center. So pick up that orb as soon as he is targetable. Use your 7, 1, 2, 5, 4, 3. And that cancel, there you go, every time. Sometimes you have to wait until he raises his sword and he's about to hit the ground with it before you use your cancel skill. But that's not the case with Thor and 7. That lightning and electricity and shock just keeps raining down for a while. Have to go pick up that orb, come on back. As you can see, I'm starting to use my 6 before my 3. It's usually good to use it as soon as possible so you can charge it back up because it causes a delayed damage thing with this huge wave of ice, and you definitely want to get that. Alright, here's the last orb. Here's the last Odin Force. We want to do as much damage as we can here. Bring me on home to that 10 million. I know she can hit 10 million. I've done it before. I've actually hit 11 million with her before. I don't think this is going to be an 11 million day, and I'm blaming the fact that I'm talking during this little video tutorial here. I think that's why I'm not going to be hitting 11 million today. But we're definitely breaking 10 million, that's for sure. Like I said, she's pretty consistent on that. Even when you play her poorly like I'm doing right now. Alright, almost 10.5 million. Like I said, 11 million is the most I've scored. There is a bit of random element to playing her. Let's talk about the team I'm using, my account, how it's built, all that good stuff with that additional information I promised you, and we'll wrap up the video. So to begin with, let's look at my cards. I will point out one thing. Freeze it if you want to read the cards. I have 16% Pierce. Pierce is huge in ABL. I want 25%, and I will do a lot more if I ever get that. I've made some poor card choices, though, so I've got to recover from that. Here's my X-Swords. I always show this because people want to know why you're scoring what you're scoring, either more or less. Why are you scoring what you're scoring? It's because of your build. Your overall account build makes a huge difference. So here's my Luna Snow. She's ranked at 2600, not that high. All the critical stats are capped. Let's see. She has all of her stuff is amplified, 6-star or Odin's Blessings. I don't have Odin's Blessings on everything for her. I've got, of course, a striker. I'm using Thor because Thor tends to be the best striker for her, or for ABL period, and also cancels for today, as we talked about while showing the rotation. Power of the Angry Hulk. Any of the attack sets are fine. She does have her own artifact at 3-star +6, and it does give her more damage. It's also an instinct type match. So idealistically, you want that a 6-star if you can, and you want to try to enhance it up to +20, but her cold resist will make her do more damage based upon her instinct total. Custom gear, she has a brilliant rage. It's 280. It is rolled to 1%. Anyone who's seen my previous videos, yes, I swapped out her rage with a different rage, even though she had a 300 before. I can't help myself. Doctor Strange needs the best. And then she does have a mythic uniform. It is a seasonal uniform, so if you do not have it right now, then you got to wait till the season comes back around. There you go. That's how my Luna's built. Let's talk about teams and alternate options for today. So, let's see. Arena, Alliance Battle, Legendary. She basically has no leadership. So why am I using her in the leadership position? Because I want to double support her and get her into the action right away. So Coulson does this guaranteed crit rate, which actually helps her. It makes her proc more consistently. A lot of people have recommended using this. I started using it with her leadership and Coulson White Fox, and I score more than when I was using even Fury's leadership with White Fox and Luna. I was doing more with this. So try it out. If you don't like it, go back to whatever team you're using. But he also does the damage dealt 45%. He has an insight, but so does White Fox. Neither of them are reforged. Remember, insights do not stack unless they're reforged. The new thing that they've added to the game, that if you have 2 reforged insights with different alternate options, those 2 options will apply, plus whichever one's the higher out of the 2 insights. White Fox here is doing a few things. First of all, she helps characters with leadership. If you don't know what that is, go to your character details page, and you'll see a little shield icon. If you click it, it says leadership. If they don't have this, White Fox does nothing for them. She will help. White Fox will help any character with leadership. So talking characters like Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, obviously Luna. So if they have the shield, use her. That damage dealt is huge, and she's definitely one of the best support characters in the game. But of course, it's only the characters who have that leadership ability. She is also carrying an insight because she's worth it, and her uniform lifestyle series 2, even though her base uniform also gives you the passive support for the leaders. Where is it at? I guess it's up here. Let's see. Passive. There you go. So it's 60% without the uniform. With the uniform lifestyle series 2, which I highly recommend, and I'm going to show you why in a second, it's 65. But also, this uniform has a uniform effect, which applies to superhero allies, thus Luna Snow. Increases all basic attacks by 15, increases chain hit by 10%, and ignore target's dodge by 30%. So all of that stacking on. That's why White Fox is such a great character. Lifestyle Series 2, even though it's a basic uniform, you don't need to upgrade it. She has a uniform effect, she has an insight, and she has a passive, which all affects leader characters. So she's a fantastic character to use. So in my opinion, this is the meta team for today. If you don't have some of these characters, you can consider other leaders. Like, for example, with Luna specifically, Misty Knight leadership does great. Shuri's leadership does great because it does both the enhanced damage plus the damage dealt. And again, I've tried characters like Fury's leadership, who has the bonus for his leadership ability of 50%, plus he has the 55% damage dealt as a passive with his uniform. There are other characters that you can use as well, that if you're not using Luna on your team, other contenders for top place underneath Luna would be like Jean Grey. There would also be Magneto, Black Bolt, even Doctor Strange with his newest uniform kind of gives folks a run for their money. But Luna seems to shine out of all of the ones that I've tried out. So if you're looking for passive and support characters, anyone with damage dealt. There's a lot of them out there, especially on an open day. Leadership abilities is great to have different leadership options. This whole Coulson with White Fox thing only works for Luna. I've tried it out with other characters before, even leadership characters. I don't see the same effect. Like, I've used Doctor Strange with his self-lead, and I've used a Coulson Valkyrie. That doesn't do as good as like putting Fury with his 55% damage dealt in one of the slots, and then using Valkyrie with her 55% damage dealt in the other slot, and Doctor Strange's leadership, and that scores more for me than Coulson in one of those spots. So you have to experiment a little bit, but like I said, this is the most optimal team in my opinion. Anyway, I've blathered on for way too long. Thank you for watching. May your ABL scores be as high as possible, as always, and I will catch you in the next one.